Good afternoon, and welcome to Hard On Radio After Dark. This is your host, Shauna Ava, and I'm so glad to be here again with Mr. Rion DeRouen.
Well, hello everyone. How are you guys doing out there?
How are you doing? Thanks for hanging out on the total solar eclipse in Leo. No big deal.
I'm hanging in there. It's definitely been a journey. For me, this whole thing started about a week ago. Really like July 26th. This is just the end, the coup de grace of the energies we've been feeling. It feels no different than the last 2 weeks. I've just been processing and up leveling and really just clearing my energy and my mind and my consciousness. And it's a process for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. To be honest, I was shaking like a leaf the past 4 days or so.
hmm
I was feeling this energy really intensely. And even as an astrologer or a budding astrologer or studying astrologer, I just love astrology. You can never quite predict how the energies are going to feel in the experience of being a being in a body. And I am having some physical symptoms. I'll say my left ear has been pinging like crazy lately. I know that you and I have both discussed a bit about even appetite shifts
hmm
as the energy continues to expand. It puts pressure on areas of us that our bodies need to assimilate, need to clear, need to get rid of. So, this eclipse is different than most of them, which is why I feel that it's not expressing like a typical solar eclipse. It's why we're
Yeah.
not feeling it, right? In the typical way.
No, what we went through in America during the X going through Texas last year, this is nothing compared to what we felt personally. This vibe. We went through both, just to be clear for everyone out there across planet Earth. Team Light had two events at the beginning of the X and the end of the X. I believe, was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. Fast Drop was like 2 years ago,
Yes.
so 2024. So I really got a hot dose of whatever that eclipse energy was then. I remember standing there and like holding the clouds back so we could get some sort of a visual. They chemtrailed three cloud layers deep going vertical. And we held it for a little bit. We saw the eclipse in Bastrop, but that energy for me is really just a resetting. I mean, for a lot of us out there that are going through this, maybe this, detachment, clearing, leveling up now for the first time, yeah, it's going to be very relevant and maybe new to you. There's also a lot of us that have been awake quite some time, waiting for the rest of the collective to kind of like wake up and start moving toward in the right direction. So it just depends on your level of your own internal work. If your homework assignments are turned in, what I can tell you is that for some of you advanced out there, I'm having completely different conversations with the different tiers of reality in on this planet, in this dimension. Most of my conversations I'm having with beings are 4 floors up. It's nothing to do with the physical plane. It's all of the energies dealing with people's higher selves and like the organization of the soul and how they interact with the humans down here. And kind of like it's like almost like your guys' higher selves and my higher self. We've got a game plan. And instead of like not knowing what's going on, we're like actively a part of that team organization. So I can't shut off and go, I'm just a 3D human. This is me in my house. Like I can't do it. So you're streaming 3 or 4 channels vertically. What that means, if you guys are new to this channel, is you got your 3D, your 4D, your 5D, your 6D, your 7D. I'll just stop right there, right? When I say I'm broadcasting 3 or 4 floors up, I mean 3 or 4 floors above 3D. So if this is an apartment building and you're on the third floor, 3 to 4 floors up above. So you're talking about 5D. I mean, more, more like it's more than five. I got to be honest with you, because the organization from the Galactics is coming down way above 5D. 5D is like a sandals resort where everyone gets to go on vacay. They have the bottom floor of heaven,
Hey, we're all
which
praying for that
sounds
one down here.
fantastic. But a lot of this stuff is coming like 7D, 9D, basically anything under the shell of 12. in this 15D dimensional reality that we find ourselves in. So it's really just the organization. And then obviously you guys are going to be feeling with that now that you're like a new person. Once you come through the other side of this, what do you want to manifest? What's your focus? What's most important to you right now? What do you wish to create? How do you see the future of humanity rolling out? And I think for a lot of us, there will be safe pockets of reality because um, ever since we all were forced to do this COVID thing, where we all were forced in this like 2 to 4 year program, I'm never allowing my soul to be a part of that again. So that like it's just like that saying, fool me once, it's your fault. Fool me twice, it's my fault. What I'm getting to energetically, like we will shut this thing down. If these guys try this again, we will shut them down from the top down. Wherever they are hiding in the ground, wherever they are broadcasting in. I just want you guys to know we had our fool me once moment for planet Earth. That's to never happen again. So that's how I feel about it. And some of the other guys that are on my squad and ladies that are very powerful out there, will show up in your house. You try to do this again. We're not going to let you just duck and hide on a yacht somewhere in the Black Sea. Like we're going to come for you. So that's just a fair warning to everyone out there. We're tired of being misled on this planet. So what am I processing? That type of stuff. I'm not processing who am I? No. Once you know who you are, then you come into that responsibility of how to protect your friends and family. I'm in that space.
Well, that's why we know and love you. You are definitely a pioneer and a leader and a bright light. And you certainly process things that are so extremely advanced that you hold the space for the rest of us to sort of catch up and join you. So
We're all in the same boat
absolutely,
together,
but we have different roles.
Dude, everyone has a different skill set, and that's the coolest thing about being down here in the collective. We are all gifted God's children, and everyone has their own special spark. And some of you guys were forced to wear many hats. Like maybe you incarnated to be a fireman, and you're really good at being a fireman. In this incarnation, though, it feels like you're a fireman, a police officer, a military officer, a nurse, a craftsman. You're a professional knitter. You're a painter. You're a songwriter. It's like you wear so many hats. You're like, well, how many jobs does our creator need us to, take or have to get this job done? And I'm whatever that is, I'm on that team. Get the job done. So.
Absolutely. And I do feel as though the energetics are supporting us to expand and hold more of ourselves, more of our cosmic essence. And sometimes it does feel like I have 8 different arms coming out of my backside.
We call it going robot mode. You want to talk about that? So sometimes it's not robot mode, but what it is sometimes you go so multidimensional that I literally feel like I'm puppeting my body around from like location to location, or like say I'm crafting something downstairs. I'll do that for 2.5 hours. Then I'll come back upstairs and I'll edit something. Then I'll go and I'll make music, and then I'll go back downstairs. So all of a sudden you get in this routine where it's like maximum output. So much so that your body actually will tell you, hey, you have not eaten. It is now 5:30 p.m. You need to shut down and eat food. You can't just run 18 hours straight. So there's different levels in frequency. I think in the higher dimensions, we definitely eat less food. I think we definitely have a different diet. I think that when you start running on just like pure raw frequency, if you guys are sun charging out there, getting out in nature, it's a different voltage, and it's a lot faster than sometimes your body or suit can keep up with. And I think a lot of people are having you start crashing out. All of a sudden you're taking a nap in the middle of the day. I wonder why. Your body is going through a physical upgrade, a hardware upgrade. So there's 2 types of upgrades, right? I'll give it to you guys kind of in computer terms. Think of like consciousness as software. Okay. So if we're in a biological suit, we have a biological, chemical computer, our brain. We love our bodies, the hue of manifestation. Okay. Now, 2 types of updates that you can get. One, conscious, call that software. 2 is a firmware update. Now, firmware updates come from our sun. They come from, your highest lights out there. Those are things that actually change the biology of your body. That's a firmware update. And right now, what we're in right now with the solar eclipse and in this window of time, you are in a firmware biological system update. And that's why you need time to rest, relax, and take care of yourself.
I want to come back to that concept a little bit after this first song here.
It's so beautiful. Living in the world today. Witness life's miracle. Then you're freed from pain again. This is why we pray, even in the darkest times. This is why we pray, and we learn to seek the light. This is why we pray, even when it hurts inside. This is why we pray, may our love provide. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Hear the way life calls your name. Even in this crowded space, we still feel it the same. Again, listen, this is why we pray, even in the darkest time. This is why we pray, may we learn to seek the light. This is why we pray, even when it hurts inside. This is why we pray, if we learn to just open up. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so it's so it's so it's so it's so
All right. I hope you enjoyed that one. That is It's So Beautiful by Face Soul, one word. And that is an artist born in Somali, singer-songwriter based in London now, but beautiful voice, meaningful lyrics, and with a spiritual awareness to what he shares. So I know we were talking a bit before about sort of body consciousness, body awareness. You were saying in such a beautiful way, like a firmware update versus a software update. That really resonates with me, especially now we are pivoting into an eclipse season taking place in fixed energy, which anytime we do that, that to me has felt more intense because fixed energy is where those are the things we count on. right? Those are the places where we feel sturdy, we feel secure, we want some level of repetition. We're coming out of a more fluid eclipse season. We were in Pisces, Virgo. We also had the South Node in Virgo, and that taught us a lot about body consciousness. But that was a mutable energy. And so mutable is a little bit more fluid. It's a little bit more like, I like options, I can flow back and forth or go in the liminal in between spaces. Whereas now we've done like a hard pivot into a fixed energy. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, as if
there's
that
more.
weren't enough.
There's more.
No, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We also just had Chiron move into Taurus, which is a fixed energy and it's a fixed earth energy. So when you talk about upgrades, solar upgrades to really what we thought we could count on, what we thought were sturdy, what we were built on, or there's a certain framework to it, is being shifted.
100%. All of the false prophets, all the false propaganda, all of the false idols are falling. I mean, it's, if you turn on the news, it's like, goodness gracious, don't turn it on too long. But yeah, I mean, everything is blowing up on social media. It's really hard to discern what's real and what's not out there. And there's so many different, principalities battling it out for, your consciousness or, for what you guys think. But it really is kind of like the land of confusion. I feel like it's that Genesis song. It's the land of confusion. The only thing I can say right now is to, be strict in how you take care of yourself and your own the daily routine, making sure that you really take care of yourself and self-care. It's really important. I think there's a huge reward waiting for us, for all you guys that don't have the connection that I do to my higher self, or, my ears have been on and my eyes have been on for, 16, 17 years. I can tell you that they want to assure us that everything is going to go to plan, and they're making sure of that. It seems on the surface that it's very chaotic. In retrospect, us as human beings have lived through many chaotic times, many great transitions. And I think this one is no different. It is a little different in the sense of our level of technology and what we're playing with, and how it gives us the abilities to literally view into other people's realities. It's interesting kind of doing a deep dive on like, what are some of these motivations and what's really makes, some of these groups tick. And all I've really taken from it is that, if people were more in their hearts and less in their minds, this place would be a much better place. And I think we're going to be reminded of that once again. And I want the best outcome for everyone. But I also have to say, like, inside of my body, there's a torrent, there's a storm inside of myself. Because some of us out there, you guys, you're placeholders for the collective. So us empaths, we're feeling everything. And it takes a lot of, self-discipline and a lot of confidence in yourself and your own emotions to be able to hold that space for others.
I want to go back to something that you said regarding discipline and daily practices, because here's the thing. Everyone's been so excited about this Leo eclipse. I'm excited about it. I love me some Leo energy. I love what this is going to do for us creatively, getting in touch with our inner child, our heart space. I love all of that, but we can't spring forward so fast and forget where we're coming from. So I was actually pulled deeply back into the nodes of fate, but we have learned some really deep lessons that I think would behoove of us to carry forth. One of the reasons why this solar eclipse feels a bit bizarre is that while we're having a total solar eclipse, right, an expansive energy typically in the sign of Leo, the south node is in Leo. So there is an energy here of a karmic buildup of perhaps shadowy aspects or unhealed energy that needs to be released. This is why we may see a lot of fallen sort of celebrity or patriarchy figures, because it's a South Node energy. So that's sort of, I don't want to say dampen it, but it's definitely put a different flavor to this. In fact, the lunar eclipse coming up in 2 weeks, that's going to be in Pisces. So we're still not quite done with that Pisces Virgo energy. And one thing that I really was reminded of as the South Node moved through Virgo is I am a human being, not a human doing. Okay. Virgo is very connected to our daily practices. In its shadow form, perfectionism, over editing yourself, overworking, over striving. But in its highest expression, Virgo can be very connected to the athlete because it is about your daily devotions, your daily practices that then lead to something greater. And they're so good at knowing how to apply information. I feel like that is the mercurial frequency of Virgo, is they can take the thoughts and ideas and figure out now how to apply something in a very practical way. So my biggest takeaway was to now use that in application to my creative essence, because the Pisces North Node reminded me of my spiritual creative essence, my spiritual connection, and that in the quiet and peace and surrender and in the nothingness, in the trust, is where you can receive pure energy from the divine. And so I truly am now taking the Virgo application, the daily devotion, and putting that into a creative discipline. My body literally stopped being able to prioritize this sort of frivolous to-do list. And in that emptiness, I could hear creative flow again. I could feel creative flow. And things that I had wanted to do creatively that felt like they weren't important enough to put attention to, I finally started to do. So that gives me such a good baseline now for inviting and holding more of this creative and cosmic brilliance that we're being invited into, nourished with right now, activated with right now in the collective and in our charts personally. How has that shown up for you?
Mine is more like instead of focusing on all the things that don't work, focus on the things that bring you joy and happiness. Use these energies that are bouncing off of you to create new things. And I have almost used that discipline to keep my mind sound and safe through these times. I mean, so it's, energy goes where, energy flows where the focus goes. So I just keep focusing on being in my happiness. And if that means just, playing music in the house and being creative and writing or, directing or creating new works of art, I just really enjoy do that. I mean, I made a whole brand new product line of like jewelry that I made because I finally got certain components I needed together to make those. So it's really a combination of using what I can say for a lot of creative people out there that maybe get stuck. I can give you a little tip. Sometimes when I'm too in my mind, say I'm trying to make a new song or I'm trying to create a new music video or, trailer or whatnot, and I'll get stuck in the process. And so what I do is I've learned to switch gears, and then I go outside or go in the shop and I start using my hands and I start creating in a different way. And it's crazy what happens. It's like you still have the same amount of energy, but there's no blocks on what you're trying to do. And then you come back to the other thing the next day and then boom, you knock it out. It's like perfect. So you can't force creation. And I think a lot of artists, there's a lot of writers that have writer's block. Like they'll get to the 6th chapter and they're like, what happens now? It's what happens next, The thing is that you can't force creation. All I can say is you have to learn those that are the most efficient at pivoting. Once they know like, hey, that's enough for today and pivot to the next subject, those are going to be your most successful skill sets to have, because not only do you become a master in multiple realms of creativity,
but you're never just stuck in one. And it really does save me not only a lot of time and energy, but it's really kind of how it's supposed to be. No one taught humans how you're supposed to create, or don't try to create something from scratch. It's like, give it 4 or 5 hours, then chill. No, we're not like that. We're like 15 hours, it's 3 a.m. I got it. And the things I can say for a lot of stuff I've made is go to bed, wake up in the morning with a fresh set of eyes and well rested, and then take another listen or take another look. And you might make some slight adjustments that actually improve the entire project. So it's something that, again, comes with self-discipline and just the practice of doing it over and over and over again. So,
And that's what I really encourage everyone to take forward into this creative eclipse season. It's been presenting to me almost like a collective Kundalini awakening. Like, if you think about the fact that we're going to be releasing blockages when it comes to our creative essence, our heart space, what we divinely come in with, what we generously want to offer. We're healing bits of that. And as we heal it, there will be this surge of creative energy that can be released and rise into the Aquarian aspect. And Aquarius is connected to the cosmic brilliance, the cosmic mind. So I almost see it as we're all working on these things in our own uniquely specific ways, healing these things, it's like our energies rise within us and they feed into a collective Kundalini. I see like a spiral of light feeding up as we move through this upcoming eclipse season. And it is with the knowledge of the South Node in Virgo, in daily practices, in not over editing yourself, in not playing to that perfectionism, but getting into that heart space where you can just offer yourself in a generous way, and not because you're looking for applause or attention, but because the sun doesn't apologize for shining. It's just its essence. That is Leo in its most ascended energy. It doesn't ask to radiate. It just is. So with that, I want to pivot to a song now, and we will be right back.
Yana hey ya hey yana 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 hey me Hier är Jocelyn. Jocelyn.
And that song was called Going Home by Tony Duncan. And not only is he an incredible flutist, I'm always insecure to say it. Flutist?
What is a
What?
flautist?
Flautist? Did I make that up?
Yeah, you just made
Oh,
it
yeah, I
up.
just made that up. But he's also a hoop dancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I love that. And we were laughing that I probably should have played that song first for you all.
Yeah, I was all hypey, bro. You should have played. You should have led with the flute, Native
Yeah.
American flute. Brings me right back into. I'm like, all right, I'm here.
Yeah. Back into your heart, back into presence.
Back into old Lemuria.
Yeah. But we are, I mean, to give a lot of grace, we decided to broadcast in the middle of being like cooked
We're in the middle of the solar eclipse right now.
by
dude.
a solar.
Yeah. People are like, what? I'm like, yeah. When you were like on the couch, like, what's happening? Like, we're doing a podcast. So
Hashtag it's happening right now.
hashtag it's on my face right now.
And it truly is. I mean, this energy is very personal to you. I want to ask actually, after we did a couple of solar eclipse events, what is your take on, do you look at it or do you not look at it?
I think you like glance it.
Do
It's
you
not
like
some-
steal a look?
Well,
Like,
yeah, well, I mean, you have the glasses on that protect your eyes, obviously.
I mean,
highly recommend
energetically,
that.
you know, the Native Americans are very, from what I understand, what I've read is you go inside and you revere it and you tune into it, but you do not look at it.
Yeah, I think it's up to everyone's personal.
That's why I'm asking
belief
you,
system.
what did you feel, sir? Good sir over there.
I feel like I was in limbo.
I agree.
I
For
I
me,
feel
it
like I
was
was
too
crossing
intense.
through worlds.
100%.
So I felt like I was in between. It's like God was turning a page, and I was like on the page, like, where are we? What's happening? And like you literally feel the page turning.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that. And we had to leave town the very next day. We're like, yeah, that's fine. Let's just navigate Texas and get in planes, trains, and
we're
automobiles
crazy.
while people are still integrating this, while we're still integrating this. And I just remember I could really feel it shift my whole energetic system. And then having to like human at that point was a bit of a challenge. And I watched
Oh,
other
yeah.
people sort of losing it. Like I could see
Oh,
people.
I remember the stories because I was just kind of like mobilizing. I'm like, get in the car, and they're like, we actually had like a plan to like go and like drive around and visit places, and I was like, I'm going home. I was like, loading the car. I'm like, I need to go home and like reset. It was a lot of data, and there hasn't been a solar eclipse in Spain in over 100 years. Their whole population has never experienced, that's alive right now, has never experienced a solar eclipse over their neighborhood, let's just say. And it hasn't been over Europe since 1999. So there's a lot of people that are experiencing for the first time in this incarnation a real solar eclipse. So I think it's a wake-up call. And I think that hopefully we shift into a better paradigm. And I'm holding space that we are really kind of turning, we're going past third base towards home plate at full stretch, full stride into this golden age. Looking back on my life on this planet and looking back on like what we agreed to when we came down here, there have been a lot of like timeline distortions. There has been a lot of timeline manipulations. And every single galactic officer in a human suit right now is fully aware of those things. And for everyone that's a human or you're just going through the normal ascension on this planet, I'm here to tell you that we're monitoring everything. Every single time these guys play with time, every single time CERN turns on. And I'm not trying to get into like a feisty thing with you guys. I just want you to know that there is no running from your karma. And you have to realize that the evolution of a planet is a very sacred thing in the universe. So, and the evolution of the people and of, and how many things that this planet has gone through and how many shifts and changes. And I feel that it's really important that we get back on that, bicycle and start pedaling, or back on that horse and start riding. And I honestly kind of want to move away from these old stories and these narratives and these manipulations. And I want to get more into the heart, the truth, and the true divinity of what a human being really is.
So I think there's a lot of copycats on this planet. I think there's a lot of peanut butter and jealous. And I think there's a lot of people that want to use your divine spark and energy for their own purposes and motivations. And I see those days coming to an abrupt end. So in religious terms, they call it Judgment Day. Yeah, it's coming. And I think some of us showed up here to make sure that we were here on the ground when it did take place. Not to be in a place of fear, but to be in a place of like, I don't know, man. You need the firemen and the firefighters when stuff pops off. You need organization. You need when there's a drill at school and when you're a kid, right? And there's some sort of an emergency drill. All the teachers, that's why you guys practice. All the teachers are there. All right, kids, this way. And like all the teachers are there as you make it out into the foreyard and they're like, line up. And like the way they had you guys practice all of that, I just feel like what they didn't tell us is that some of us are actually the administrators of just that. And I'm trying to give you a visual of what it feels like. It feels like the consciousness on this planet is a bunch of children. And when you wake up, you actually take this more like adult responsibility position. So if you want the visual of what that feels like when there's a big event, you feel like you are these teachers of that school helping the kids out and to line up so everyone's safe and accounted for during that drill. And I'm just trying to give you a visual of what it feels like. We've all been little kids in 6th grade when we have to do these things. Well, imagine that on an angelic, energetic level for the earth. So I feel like a lot of us came down here to hold specific positions to do that.
I'm wondering, are you tapping into something?
I have been for a little bit of time. And I think that I'm not really into like false narratives. You know, obviously we didn't float away. The gravity didn't reverse today. I mean, that was another big thing.
That was positive.
I was actually kind of excited. I was like, at 7:55 this morning, I was like, am I going to get to float for 7 seconds? Like, is this going to be a free ride? I was like looking around at all my statues in my house. I'm like, should I tie those down? But no.
Or the large crystals
or
that
the large
could impale
crystals.
you.
I was like, yeah, this is going to be an expensive experiment. No, the things they come up with on this
Quick
planet.
Velcro everything to the floor.
Quick bungee all the cement to the ground. Yeah, so with all that, do I feel something coming? I don't know. I would like to think of like a wave of golden energy or a wave of energy that actually accelerates some of us that are ready into a higher dimensional existence, a higher vibration of being. I'm not sure, when you talk about taking the suit with you, you're talking about 3rd density to 4th density. You're not talking about dimensions. So I got to explain that. Some people try to explain, I'll explain it to you like this. Imagine a 3D radio tower. That radio tower can broadcast on channels, let's say 1 through 15. Now change the word channels or bandwidths to dimensions. It's still a 3D object. Okay. When you go 4D or 4th density, that's a 4th density object. Now that radio tower can probably broadcast 24, 36 different channels. What I'm getting to is that if everyone here is elevated to a higher mental or energetic status where they're not so attached to the physical, you're going to be able to access a lot more of your gifts and the different realities that exist. And I think of many of us in dream time right now, if you're on this graduating class, I'm not dreaming, I'm existing in parallel realities. I haven't really dreamt in like 5 years. I'm training in other dimensions. I'm meeting people, meeting higher angelics, meeting different ETs pretending to be human, which is hilarious. Yeah, they just, I'm like, here, we're here at the airport again, Rion. And I'm like, oh, another airport, huh? So where are we really? I always like, stop, playing with me. I can handle it. I'm not at an airport. If you guys don't know that trick, when you guys are always in those dreams where you're late to the airport or you can't find your bag, you're not at a real airport. You're probably on a spacecraft and you're going from training facility to a training facility, but in your 3D brain, this is how they set this game up. Your brain can't process something it's never perceived in this particular dimension. That's how they help separate the dimensional planes of existence. So instead of being on a spacecraft, which you've never seen other than in a movie, right? They'll say you're in an airport.
You're looking for your bag. You're in a rush. They'll give you the visual of exactly what you're doing, but they'll give it to you in a way that your brain can understand. Because this is what happens. If not, you will not be able to remember. It'll fuzz it out. ETs play this game all the time. They can sit in front of you, as a reptilian, and all you see is Bob. It looks like a human being. They're not doing it through a certain type of like mask. I mean, some do wear masks. But what it is more is that they're controlling what you're perceiving. They're controlling what you're able to perceive as reality. And that's a psionic ability. So not to go too far down the rabbit hole, but yeah, I mean, the psionic ability in a human being is truly untapped. And I really look forward to the day that we can actually express ourselves properly in the universe again.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in today. I know it kind of went all over the place, but maybe this is just right for whatever you're processing at this time. Again, this is huge energy. We didn't even get to tap into so many of the reasons that make this eclipse unusual, but we do have the other part of this story, so to speak, coming up on August 28th, which is the Pisces lunar eclipse.
I'm a Pisces. Get me out of
Well,
here.
you're not done yet. You have a Leo moon. Right? This is about to get
No.
deeper.
Listen.
We're about to drill for
someone
some
threw
oil.
me in a dryer, and I'm just banging around in this thing. I'm like, emotions, past lives, feelings, the collective.
And it all has to process through a human body and
I feel
suit.
like
And
I feel like Daryl right now. I'm like, sorry.
I think many of us truly, this is how I felt yesterday. So I just got out of the soup. On that note, I want to wish you all so much love wherever you're tuning in from in the world. Thank you for hanging out with us on Heart on Radio. And I'm going to close out with a song from a Christian artist. Her name is Lauren Daigle. I love her voice. And I hope that this song brings you some sense of connection to source, the angelic realm, and how protected and loved that you are.
When 10,000 arrows take flight, remind me that you are my armor. There's always a place I can hide when I am desperate for shelter. You're my covering. I'm safe. I'm safe. Whatever comes at me, I'm safe. I'm safe. You got me under your wings, under your wings. I'm under your wings. You got me, you cover me, you cover me. I'm under your wings. With every step that I take, you are before and behind me. In every fear that I face, oh, I'm constantly finding you're my covering. I'm safe. I'm safe. Whatever comes at me, I'm safe. I'm safe. You got me under your wings, under your wings. I'm under your wings. You got me, you cover me, you cover me. I'm under your wings. You got me under your wings, under your wings. I'm under your wings. You got me, you cover me, you cover me. I'm under your wings.